I'm just waiting for this one just to get started. Hello, hello. Welcome to the Kellie Kitchen. So happy you guys are here. We're ready for some food, health, and fun. That's always the goal. And I'm here in my kitchen not every night, but a lot of nights. And so it's kind of fun for me that you guys join me and get to see all the things that I do. And hopefully you can pick some stuff up. Tonight, we are going to make my one of my new recipes for sloppy joes. I loved sloppy joes as a kid, and as we're getting into these colder months, I kind of was like, hey, let's kind of get into some comfort foods. And when you look at the can for the Manwich mix, or you get one of those packets, the first ingredient usually is sugar. I was in the supermarket earlier today, and literally the first ingredient on the packet of sloppy joes is sugar. And a can of Manwich has, for the whole can, which is supposed to be, the Manwich can is supposed to be for 1 pound of ground beef, it has 70 grams of carbs. So I am going to show you how we cut those carbs and get that sugar out of there. We're going to serve it with cheddar, pickle, Chaffles. Okay, just trust me. Trust me. My girlfriend was like, oh, I used to love sloppy joes with, pickles on top. And I was like, hey, we're just going to mix those pickles right into the Chaffles. And I'm telling you right now, it gives the Chaffles a nice tang and a crunch, and they're delicious. But we are going to start with my chocolate zucchini muffins. And I've actually kind of already gotten a bunch of stuff started. I got home from work at 5:30, and I figured you already have seen me chop onions, and I'm not going to show you, but over there I got my 5 or 6 pounds of rotisserie chicken. It's already in my Instant Pot. It's already going. I'm not even going to use it tonight. I'm just going to get that rotisserie chicken cooked, and then it'll sit there for about an hour, and then I will just put it into, I'll pull the bones and the skin off, and I'll put it into the fridge, and I'll save it, because we're going to either have some soups or some casseroles. I'm not quite sure yet what we're going to do, but so I'll get to that rotisserie chicken a little bit later. For my zucchini, chocolate zucchini muffins, I like to use baker's chocolate. It's unsweetened. It's really inexpensive. I think this whole box is like $3. One serving is 1 carb. So there are 8 servings in this box, but we're making 12 muffins. So it gets divided up. I also love this because you can get this at any supermarket, and it is inexpensive. And what was the other thing I was going to say? Oh, you can keep it in your cupboard for months and it stays good. So I like that. So I put the chocolate, I broke it up. I broke up the whole thing of this, because this is 4 ounces, and that's what the recipe calls for, with a stick of butter, which is 1/2 cup. And I'm going to put this in the microwave. I'll do it in 30-second increments so that I don't burn the chocolate, and then I can get them melted together. So let me just pop that into the micro. If your grandmother didn't have one of these, or you didn't have one of these, a box grater is, I think you can get these at like the dollar store or CVS or any supermarket for like $2 or $1. And it's one of the most easy, basic tools that I have, and it's nothing fancy. I mean, I've got Cuisinarts and I've got other mandolins and all that sort of stuff, but this is actually pretty easy. And we're going to grate 1 zucchini. I took the ends off, and we're going to leave the skin on. Okay, hold on a second. I'm just going to stir up the chocolate and the butter, and then we're going to put it on. We're going to put it in here for another 30 seconds, because we want the butter and the chocolate to fully incorporate and melt in there. And gosh, you guys, have so much to share with you, and I was prepared this time. I made a little list. We're going to talk about, this is so funny. I keep popping in and out of the frame. I wish I had a camera that followed me around. I made a little list, and so we are going to talk about avocado management. It is a real thing in our house, and I would say 80% of the time I hit it on the mark. Very rarely do I get a bad avocado, and that's a real bummer. And occasionally I will run out, and that's a bummer too. But okay, so that's going there. I'm gonna do it on the big one, but you can do it on the little one, and I'm just gonna grade my zucchini. It's super fast and easy, and I'm doing it on a linen dishcloth. This is it's a brand new clean linen dishcloth, and I'm going to show you why I do that in a second. I just want to make sure that chocolate's not going to melt. And there is my zucchini. I'll show you close up in a second. Let me get that chocolate. Okay, so the butter is fully melted. I'll show you. The butter's fully melted, but the chocolate still has a little bit of a ways to go. And we're just going to stir that up a little bit. Who's here visiting me? Hi, Heidi. Hi, Marie. Good to see you guys. Anybody else? Say hi or let me know if there's any questions you have. The people that ask the questions get invited. The people that ask the questions get invited for dinner in the future. Because I love visitors in the Kellie kitchen. Okay, I'm going to put that for one more round of 30 seconds. And I'm going to show you what I do with my zucchini. So that was I would say that was like a small/medium zucchini. And if you can see, if I were to put that in a measuring cup right now, that would probably be about 1.5 to 2 cups. I'm going to get to the avocados in just a second. I'm going to teach you all about my avocado management because it is a real thing. So I want to show you what I did. Hold on a second. I got to get the chocolate out. This is kind of a pain in the neck going to go back and forth, but I wanted to show you that you kind of have to do this in increments, and the chocolate is very runny. I can't show you completely because it'll drip on the floor, and we know that that's always a fun thing. But the chocolate is going to melt a little bit more. Okay, I think I'm going to do 30 more seconds. And we'll get that going. But let me get back to the zucchini. Okay, so you've got your zucchini, and you kind of, ooh, I almost lost it there. That would have been a bummer. You've got your zucchini in the towel, and I don't know if you can see this, but I've already started, see how it's kind of already starting to get wet? So what I do is over the sink, I just twist, and I get all of the liquid out of the zucchini. That's pretty good. Now, when you pull it out of here, it ends up being about a cup of zucchini. So we're not ready to use that just yet. We're going to get our chocolate. It's nice and melted. I wish I had some music going. That would be fun. I've thought about doing a little dance party in here. Okay, so the chocolate is fully melted, and I'm just going to let it sit here for a second and kind of cool down. In the meantime, I was getting organized here and kind of getting situated a little early. So in my bowl here, I have almond flour, baking powder, a little bit of salt, and my Lakanto monk fruit sweetener. Talk about this all the time. So I took 1/3 of this and I powdered it so that when I mix it in here. You know, you could probably do granular too. I'm totally fine with that. But what I want to do is that you kind of like need to sift these things together and get all the lumps out before you add any of the wet ingredients. We're going to add the eggs, the vanilla, the zucchini, some spices. No spices. Let me see. What do I have here? Yes. Vanilla. Oh. And the Lily's chocolates. So one of the comments that I got in, so let me just, I'll talk while I'm doing this. I got 3 eggs here. One of the comments that I got about this particular recipe calls for, you know, that it makes 12 muffins. And when you do the nutritional count, it might seem like, wow, it has a lot of carbs for 1 muffin. But a lot of those carbs actually come from the chocolate chips. It doesn't actually come from the sugar. It also comes from the almond flour. But if you wanted to omit the chocolate chips, the extra chocolate chips, then that would actually cut down on your carb count. I'm going to mix these eggs in. We're going to do a teaspoon of vanilla extract. So that's mixed in. We're going to add in our zucchini. That's a cup. Get this out of the way. And vanilla. We'll do a teaspoon of vanilla. I already got the almond flour and the salt and the baking powder in here. Whoops. It's a half a teaspoon. We'll put the teaspoon in here. There's that. And, you know, I've been kind of having some fun with zucchini because it's a pretty benign vegetable. And I think it's nice to be able to add something to that. Who's talking to me? Okay, so you guys, now I'm going to, the chocolate has fully melted and it is nice and runny. I'm going to add that. Whoops. I'm going to add that to my almond flour, egg, and zucchini mixture. And get that all incorporated. And then we'll add the chocolate chips as soon as I get this fully mixed in. Okay, so while I'm mixing this, let me just tell you. So I almost never buy my avocados ripe. I think there are like 4 stages of avocados, and it kind of all depends on, there's my half a cup of Lily's chocolate chips. I'm going to put those in. My avocados depend on how I'm going to use them throughout the week. So let me get this, and I'm going to fill these in, but I'm also going to tell you about my avocados. So there are 4 stages of avocados. Do you see how they're all a little bit different in color? But the store puts stickers on every single one of them that says ripe. Idiots. They just wanted to get you to buy them. So the greenest ones, the dark green ones, are rock hard. And this will probably take about 4 to 5 days, maybe 4.5 days to get ripe and eatable. 4 days. The next level, it's a tiny bit ripe, but it still is very green. It says ripe, but it's not. This will be for about 3 days. Then this one is a little bit darker, and it's a little bit softer, but doesn't have much give. This one we'll probably have in 2 days. This one really is ripe, and it's ready to eat right now. And do you see how it as it gets riper and riper, it gets black. once it gets to this stage, if I have too many of these to eat all at one time, I start to panic a little bit. And then it's time for me to, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get my ice cream scooper because this makes it so much easier. I love these little tools. Look at this. My little ice cream scooper. I don't make very much ice cream, so I got to use it for something. Okay, so we're going to put this off to the side. So let me get back to the avocados. So sometimes I kind of panic a little bit, and I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna have too many ripe avocados, and I'm not going to get to them because, quite frankly, they're expensive too, and you don't want to waste them. So once they get to the ripe stage, and I can't get to them that day, they go in the fridge, and I can keep them in the fridge for probably another day and a half to 2 days. Now, the other question I get is what happens when you cut the avocado in half and you have to, store the other avocado? Well, that actually very rarely happens in our house because we're always eating them. But when it does, because occasionally it will, I put my avocado in a Ziploc baggie with a half of an onion. And then I really plan on when I'm going to eat that avocado again. I might add it to eggs in the morning. We might add it to salads the very next day so that I know that I'm not going to waste it. Well, this is working out perfectly. I've got almost exactly 12 muffins. Yay! These are great too. They're kind of like a cross between a dessert and a breakfast treat. My last muffin is a little smaller. That's okay. He's nice. Okay, now the other thing that I like to do with these muffins is I just do a few little chocolate chips right on top because, it's kind of just nice to have like a little extra. You don't have to do this. You don't have to add the chocolate chips. These are made with stevia and erythritol, but they still have carbs. So, you gotta, if your household or your regimen is a little bit more strict, then don't add the chocolate chips. But they always look better in the pictures anyways. Oh, my favorite sound. Do you hear that? That's my Instant Pot. I have 6 pounds of bone-in, skin-on chicken breasts. And while I was kind of tutoring around the kitchen, I got those into the Instant Pot and got them browned. And now they are done. And they're going to sit there for about an hour. And then I'll take them out and I will put them in a Ziploc bag. Okay, check it out. There are my zucchini muffins. I'm going to pop these into 350-degree oven for about 25 minutes. I'll check them at 25 minutes, and then they'll probably need maybe another 30 minutes, but we'll check them. Now we're going to get started on the sloppy joes. Okay, first let me set this. 25 minutes. Cool. That is done. So we did the muffins. We're going to get started on the sloppy joes. I ran out of beef. I ordered ButcherBox. I get a discount for ButcherBox. There is a discount code on my website under resources, but I ran out and I haven't gotten my subscription. So I just get these blocks. You can get them at Costco for really, really inexpensive. This is grass-fed, organic beef, and it is no antibiotics and 85% lean, 15% fat. And one of the tricks to really sort of flavorful ground beef is that there's like a technique in doing this. So we're just going to add, I don't know, that's probably like 2 tablespoons. I've got a cast iron skillet, and I love cast iron because it holds the heat and it gives a nice sear. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the the skillet, the iron skillet, super, super hot and get the oil going. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my beef in, but I'm just going to let it sit there. I'm not going to play around with it. I'm not going to stir it around, because the more I stir it around, what happens is that the beef starts to almost like steam cook instead of brown. And I want it to brown because the brown gives it more flavor. Okay, so this one's ready to go when that gets nice and hot. And then I'll just do this one. I get these at my local supermarket for, I think these were $5.99 or $6.99 for a pound. I was saying the regular Manwich, I'm sorry, the Manwich traditional recipe is 1 can of Manwich, or 1 packet with a ton of carbs for 1 pound of ground beef. Now, I just thought it was really funny that they said, oh, the Manwich can is 7 servings. 7 servings from 1 pound of ground beef? Like, how can you imagine serving 7 people 1 pound of ground beef? I don't think so. So the calculations are a little bit off there. In the recipe on the website, I actually found the original commercial, and it's really kind of cute. I think it was like from 1978, and it was straight out of my childhood, because I was born in the early 70s. So it's kind of fun to see like the old styles and whatever. Okay, so now my pan is getting nice and hot, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of break this up as it goes in, but I'm going to use a heavy wooden spoon. I'm going to use a heavy wooden spoon, and I'm going to break this all up. And then I'm just going to let it sit there, and I'm going to let it brown before I turn it or move it or anything like that. Okay, so let's get this out of the way. We'll get my chocolate out of the way. That's out of the way. My heavy wooden spoon. I'm just going to break this up. I'm not going to move it around. I just want to get it going in little tiny pieces. And while this is doing its thing, okay, so we'll just let that sit for a second. Maybe like 2 or 3 minutes, actually. Okay. I'm going to just show you. I already chopped my onion and my 2 bell peppers. The recipe on the website calls for 1 cup of onion and 1 cup of bell pepper and 1 cup of red bell pepper. This is clearly more than a cup. This is a full large onion. I am not counting carbs that closely. I want to stretch this meal also. So I'm okay with using all of this onion. I'd rather that people get their carbs from something like onion than from ding dongs. But I understand that if you need to keep your carbs super low, you probably could, I wouldn't omit this, but I would lessen this, maybe half it, so that you can reduce the carbs there. Because you're going to get carbs in the tomatoes and the tomato paste, and some of the seasonings. So I just wanted to sort of point that out, that you don't have, this is not specifically what the recipe is, but, you know, you can add more or less depending on what works for you, but the recipe calls for 1 cup of each. That's doing its thing. Can you guys see? I've got my waffle maker here, my favorite. I actually think I'm going to get a couple of them because I would love to make a few chaffles all at the same time. I'm going to do a double batch of the chaffles. Chaffles are like the easiest thing. There's so many things that you can do to them. Chaffles are 1 egg, 1 tablespoon of almond flour, and 1/2 cup, usually of mozzarella cheese, but tonight we're going to be using cheddar. I'm also going to add some dill pickles that I'll chop up and some garlic powder. And this will make 4 mini Chaffles. And where's my whisk? I'll just do this with a fork. We'll get that going. Okay, can you guys see the ground beef? So the bottom side of the ground beef is getting brown, and the top side is still pink, but it is, the juices are sort of flowing, and that's where you get all that flavor. So I'm going to continue breaking this up just a tiny bit. Keep breaking it up, but I'm not turning it yet. Just keep breaking that up. It's such a simple thing, but nobody ever really taught me this when I was growing up. Not sure where I actually read it, but anyways. Okay, so there's my egg. Let me get I'm going to do, because I did 2 eggs, I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of almond flour. 1, 2. And I'm going to do, usually I would do 1/2 cup of cheese, but now I'm going to do a full cup because I'm doubling the recipe. And then one of the things that I also learned to make your Chaffles even crispier, you actually add cheese. I'll show you what we're going to do. Okay, we're going to get that all mixed together. Oh my God, that looks so wonderful. I'll get the pickles in here in a second, but it's now time. We are going to turn the beef because it looks, it's nice and brown. Okay, wait, oh God, I gotta show this to you. This is amazing. Let me show this. Do you see how the beef is browned? Oh God, I just dropped grease on my computer. When I thought it was on the fritz, it's going to be even more on the fritz. Anyway, okay, I'm going to turn the beef. I'm going to flip it a little bit. I'm going to get it nice and, I'm going to get all the pink taken care of. It's got some nice brown bits on it. It still has a few more minutes to cook. When it's done, I'm going to take it out and then I'm going to cook the onions and the peppers, and then I'll put the beef back in. But we'll get to that in a minute. We've got our Chaffle mixture going. I am going to take 1, 2 dill pickle spears, and I'm going to really dry them out because if they're wet, they are going to make your Chaffles go, and you don't want like this, and you don't want that. So we'll dry those babies out. There's one. And then I'm just going to chop them into little tiny pieces. Give this another stir. And we'll get that going. That's almost ready to be transferred. I'm not going to take it out yet, but it's still got a little bit of pink going there. All right, I'm going to chop up these pickles, and I'm going to get my Chaffles going. I'm so glad that my friend Elizabeth told me about pickles on Sloppy Joe's. It's such a great, tangy addition. Okay, did you see how I did that? Let me just measure this for you so you guys can see how much I did. It was 2 spears, which is, it's about 1/2 cup. Check it out. 1/2 cup of chopped dill pickles. Did you get to see? We're going to top that in there. We're going to mix that up. Somebody was like, oh, I don't know about that cheddar and pickle thing. And then when they had it, they were like, holy shnikes, that is delish. Okay. So this is going to be 4 separate Chaffles. I've already got my Chaffle. I'm sorry, this is not even referred to as a waffle maker anymore. It's just referred to as a Chaffle maker. I think that my meat is almost done. It's about ready. Oh, man down, I lost a piece of beef on the floor. Shh, don't tell anybody. The cats will get it. I wish I could have my cats out here while we are doing this, but they would be all up in my grill and I would get nothing done. So they're not allowed to be part of our little party. Okay, I'm gonna turn that off just for a second because I'm gonna get this chaffle started. Where's my thing? There's my thing. No, it's got chocolate on it. I can't do that. Here we go. My measuring spoon, I'm going to do 1/4 of this. I'm going to put it right in the middle of my waffle maker. I'm going to make a nice round mound. And then, this is the trick that I heard. You just take a little bit more cheese and sprinkle it right on top. I don't know why that works, but anyways. And then you put that in there we're going to put that in there for like 3 to 5 minutes. So, that is our chaffles. They are doing their thing. I'm going to get this out of the way. That's my cutting board. It's my favorite. It's super heavy. And I love it because it doesn't move around. It's fantastic. Okay. Beef is done. This pan. One of the things I don't love about a cast iron skillet is that it's super heavy. And it's a pain in the butt to clean. It's not really a pain in the butt to clean, but it just is cumbersome and a little bit heavy. So anyways, I am going to just pour all of that in there. And let's scrape the rest. So you'll notice that there's a little bit of the grease in here. And I'm going to keep that in here so that I can use it to cook the, that is going to cook the onions. Okay. So that is taken care of. We're just going to put the beef. There's the beef. Where's the beef? It's right there. I'm going to turn the heat back on because now we are going to get busy with our onions and our bell peppers. So again, normal recipe calls for 1 cup, but I'm going to do the whole thing and let those get nice and translucent. And then I'm going to add the bell peppers, both. That's about 1 cup each of those. And I do this recipe with 2 pounds of beef. I kind of struggled a little bit when I was making up this recipe. Or when I was writing this recipe because, you know, I thought to myself, oh, well, maybe I'll just make it, you know, like who uses 2 full pounds of beef? So should I make this using 1 pound of ground beef or 2? And I thought for a nanosecond that I would cut it down. But then I realized that whenever I make sloppy joes, it's usually for a crowd. So it's always nice to have a lot of it so that you can feed a lot of people. If I don't eat this all, which we won't eat this all, it is so great for leftovers. We had this, I think last week or maybe 2 weeks ago, and I had the leftovers and I roasted a spaghetti squash. And I just put some garlic and some butter and a little bit of Parmesan in the spaghetti squash. And it was the greatest meal. And then I sent it to work with Peter the next day. So that meal lasted for 3 meals, and it was, I mean, I fed like, I don't know, so many people from this one recipe. Okay, so there's my onions and my bell peppers. They're nicely cooking down. I'm going to add, what did I call for with garlic? I think I called for 3 cloves of garlic. Now, I'm going to use real garlic tonight, but I want to show you something. When I'm feeling super lazy and I don't have a lot of time, I love these. It's called Gourmet Garden, and you get these in your produce section. Gourmet Garden, I know it's backwards, sorry. And it's already peeled and mixed in. Now, would not be my first choice because they put extra stuff in here. They put other stuff in here that I don't love, but when I'm in a pinch, this is what I use. But tonight, we're going to use real garlic because I have it and because I have a little bit of patience for it. The part that I don't love the most about the garlic is the peeling it. I think that's really a pain in the neck. But I want to show you something that I do with my garlic. Where's my thing? Okay, I'm going to bring this back over here just so I can show you. So I hate peeling all the stuff off of my little pieces of garlic. This is probably four pieces. I just slice off the stem end of the garlic and then check it out. I get, I'm not considered an angry person, but if I ever had any sort of anger management, this is what I would do. Right there. Did you see that? You just smash it and you kind of kill a couple birds with one stone. You get all of the peel off, and it's already mostly macerated and chopped. Hold on, I gotta stir this a little bit. My onions and my bell peppers are making my kitchen smell delicious, and they're starting to wilt down and get nice and soft. We're cooking on that situation. I'm going to get the garlic in here in a second. I think I might have been a little aggressive with my garlic. It's looking a little sad and wilted, but we're going to get it in here, get it into the pan, and get it mixed in with my onions. Yeah, I think I was a little aggressive with my garlic, but whatever. I've got about 3 cloves of garlic here. I'm going to chop that up. It's already minced. It's already like kind of macerated for me smashing the heck out of it. There we go. There's my garlic. We put that in there. We'll clean up this mess right in there. Get that out of the way. Let's check our chaffle. Dude, that looked pretty. I'm going to show you this. Check it out. The chaffle. So one of the things that I'm not loving about the chaffle is that I have to, oh my God, this is so awesome. Okay, so I just took this off of here. I can't touch it because it's too hot. It's got a nice crisp on it. It's got the pickles mixed into it. And I'm going to let that sit there and it will get crispier as it goes. So one of the things that I'm not so keen on with the chaffle is that they take about 5 minutes each to make. So if I make 4, that means it takes me 20 minutes. I got no time for that. I do tonight because I'm doing it for you guys. But put my second one in. And I'm going to do a little experiment. I'm actually going to do this for a few minutes. And as soon as it starts to crisp up a little bit, then I'm going to add the cheese. And then I'll smash it again. Okay, my peppers and onions are nicely coming together. When these are all ready, I will put the meat back in here, and then I have to add a few things. I've already gotten a few things organized. Let me show you. So last week when I made this, I had leftover from the can of tomato paste. So I saved some. There's my tomato paste. I'm going to use 3 tablespoons, right? 3 tablespoons? Yes. Sorry, I was just reading the recipe. I'm not wearing my glasses. So 3 tablespoons of this, but we're also going to add 1.5 cups of crushed tomatoes. And let me just stir this for a second. I wanted to show you something that I have decided to do. Instead of getting the cans of tomato paste, because I never use the whole can, and I hate that about it. So I decided that I'm going to use just these. This is a tube of tomato paste. So I can just squeeze out 3 tablespoons at a time of this and not have to worry about, you know, taking my half-used can and putting it in the fridge or transferring it. And then here's the other thing. You can use the entire can of this. The recipe calls for 1.5 cups of crushed tomatoes. This is more than 1.5 cups of crushed tomatoes. So I had some left over from the last time I made this. Let me get this out of the way. And I'll get this out of the way. My onions and peppers, I'm very pleased with how wilted they are. Let me see if I can show you. We'll pull this together. My muffins are almost ready. I just checked the timer. Did you see me? I don't think so. So there are my peppers and onions. They're nicely wilting down. And we are going to add the meat back, right back in there. And I'm going to get we're going to just stir that all together. This is fantastic. So I'm going to add my 1.5 cups of crushed tomatoes. Again, tomatoes do have carbs, so if you want to reduce this, you can. I'm going to add, I'm not going to do the tomato sauce yet. I'm going to do my, my seasonings. So I have 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. I have 1 teaspoon of chili powder. If you don't like spicy, you can omit this. But the first time I made this, I used 2 teaspoons of chili powder, and it was perfect spiciness for me. But I really like spicy stuff. So the recipe only calls for 1 teaspoon. 1 teaspoon of chili powder, and then we're going to do 1 teaspoon of chili flakes. So again, you can half this or omit it, but I really like it, and I think that the peppers and the caramelized onions really sort of mellow it down a little bit. The onion powder is 2 teaspoons. There's 1. There's 2. And I know that this seems like a lot, but if you just know that you have these things, then, I'm sorry, if you just pull them all out all at the same time, then you just go boom, 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 and you throw them all in there. This, the entire recipe can be halved if you want. This is a little controversial. The recipe only calls for 1 teaspoon, and it doesn't have great ingredients. It's not a high carb. It's only 1 carb for 1 teaspoon, but it adds there's a little bit of an umami that comes from this. So I know you can make Worcestershire sauce from scratch. I just don't have the patience for that right now. So we're going to add 1 teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce and 2 teaspoons of just regular mustard. It adds a nice tang to it. So just regular mustard. And let's see, who is that? Hi, Sharon. I hear you're going to Catalina this weekend. You're going to have a great time. Oh, wait. Okay, my muffins are done. But I got to get this mustard in here. And then I'm going to put the tomato paste in here. And I cannot forget the sweetener. But let me get my muffins. Let me check them because I do not want them to overcook. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, these need, the muffins need I think 3 or 4 more minutes. So we'll keep those in there. And The last thing I want is for my muffins to be too hard. Okay, my chaffle, my second chaffle is done. We'll get this baby out of here. So happy. Oh, I forgot to put that extra cheese on top. Oh, well. Let's put our next chaffle on here so that you can kind of do these things. And actually, the kids would love to kind of help with this. One kid can be like in charge of this. Okay, that's for my last one. I'll put that in there. Get this get the chaffles out of the way. Okay, so the last thing I need to add is 3 tablespoons of tomato paste. And the tomato paste adds such a depth to the entire dish that you really can't omit that. You might be able to reduce it to reduce the carbs, but I don't know. Again, I'd rather eat carbs from vegetables than ding-dongs. Actually, I don't think I've ever had a ding-dong. Or if I have, it's been a long time. Somebody will have to report back and let me know about those ding-dongs. Okay, I'm going to stir this up. But while I'm stirring this up, I want to just tell you, I had 2 other things that I wanted to talk to you about. Do you guys remember a couple of weeks ago when I made those peanut butter bars? I was trying out a new recipe, and I didn't actually put they were really good. They were amazing. But I didn't actually put the recipe up on the website because I couldn't source the peanut butter powder very easily. Like I couldn't get it at a supermarket without sugar added to it. So you have to buy the peanut butter powder online, and I'm okay with that because the recipe is really, really, really easy and good, and I've been asked like, I don't know, 10 times over for that peanut butter recipe. People want me to bring it into the office or bring it to their house or whatever. And so I was determined that I was going to find a way to do that. So I found online, it actually was cheaper than the other stuff that I got. I didn't dislike the stuff that I got. It just is hard to find it, and it's really expensive, much more expensive than this. So this is 2 pounds. I think this whole jar was like $13, and that recipe calls for 2 cups of this. So the other bag that I got, I used 1 bag, which was like I think $12 on 1 recipe, and it just didn't make sense financially. So anyways, now I found this is just plain old peanuts that have been defatted. And I know that we like fat in our keto diet or low carb diet, but you add fat in other ways in this dessert. And this is the binder that holds it all together. So I'm so excited. I found this, and that recipe will be coming soon, I promise. I already got some great pictures for it. All right, let's turn that was it. Like the recipe came together so fast that the mix is all completely made and together, and the house smells amazing. And what happens is that then I just turn the heat off and I let this kind of sit here, and it kind of I don't know, it kind of solidifies a little bit, and then I will take 2 chaffles, and I will put, let's do this right now. Oh, wait, my muffins, sorry. Let me get the muffins out first, and then I'm going to show you. Because we're almost done. These are so beautiful, and someone is going to be really happy tomorrow because they're going to get some chocolate zucchini muffins in their office or at their front doorstep tomorrow. They're so pretty. Let's see if I can show you those. The picture that I got of these on the website, I'm super proud of, because taking pictures of chocolate is one of the hardest things that I have come across to make it actually look appetizing. So our chocolate zucchini muffins are done. Very, very, very exciting. Okay, really quickly, I want to show you. I'm going to put my chaffle together with my Sloppy Joe mixture. Oh, I have an itch. And this is going to be a really delicious dinner. You can serve these. Sorry, I have an itch. You can serve these open face, just like this. Whoops. You can sprinkle some more. You can serve these open face, just like this. Or you can put the lid on top. And there is your Sloppy Joe in your cheddar pickle chaffle. We're done, you guys. Oh, wait. I had one more thing I wanted to talk to you about. Shoot. So one of my favorite people or favorite podcasts is Low Carb MD podcast. Dr. Tro and Dr. Brian are my heroes. I absolutely love them. But, you know, somebody who I love even more, Dr. Tro's wife. Her name is Rosette, and I've never actually fully met her. I've never met her, but I have admired stuff that she does on her Instagram page, which is Rosette's Baked Goods. And so I just ordered some stuff. And I think that this, if you're not a baker, but you want to have something sweet, I'm so excited. I was going to try and make this because I ordered a bunch of stuff from her. But I was out of town this weekend, so I didn't get a chance to make it. So Rosette, this is the chocolate chip cookie mix. And basically, it's ready to go. You just add an egg and a little bit of butter and a little bit of vanilla. And then that's 24 cookies. Those are chocolate chip. Oh, I'm super excited for this one. Pistachio shortbread. Doesn't that look amazing? This is called Rosette's Baked Goods, and it's rosettesbakedgoods.com. So we've got pistachio, we've got chocolate chip, we've got our no sugar cookies. Again, you just add egg, butter, and vanilla. And then the last one, which is a little bit bigger, is classic yellow cake mix. And you add eggs, butter, milk, and vanilla. I wonder if I could add cream instead. I don't know, but we'll ask her. But vanilla cake mix, you could make, you know, like birthday cupcakes for kids that, you know, you just want to cut down on their sugar and stuff. Anyways, I'm so excited to have got these, and I think we're going to bake some of these next week. We'll do maybe the, if they last, we'll do probably the chocolate chip or the pistachio. But I wanted to just give a shout out because, you know, it's a small business, but it's a way to help our community. If you don't do a lot of baking on your own, or if you either don't have the confidence in the kitchen, or you just want something where you can just dump it into a bowl, Rosette's Baked Goods has really, really cool online purchase. So you can get them if you live in New York. I think she has either pop-up stores or farmer's market. But anyways, I am going to go enjoy my Sloppy Joe cheddar pickle chaffle. Thank you so much for coming. I really, really appreciate you guys watching, and I hope that you have enjoyed and learned. And again, my chaffle is still cooking, but you're here for food, health, and fun. All of my social media is The Kellie Kitchen. If you subscribe or press the bell so you know when I'm going live every Monday night at 6:15 Pacific time. I love seeing you guys. I love seeing the comments. And if there's anything that you guys would like to see on our Monday Night Live show, then let me know. Thanks so much, guys. Bye. Let's say good night. Good night.